Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Inside Artesian Football here on WREP 15 Sports. I'm your host, Eric Meyer, joined as always by Artesian head football coach Fred Kutruff. The Artesians start off their season 2-0 with a big win over their rivals Bloomington South on Friday night in a physical matchup against the Panthers. The Artesians come out on top 37-20. We'll come back with the coach, take a look at the highlights from that contest. We'll take a look at how the other half of the Artesian teams also did this week, the freshmen and JV. Look at practice this week as they get ready for their Mid-State Conference opener against Greenwood on Friday night, and we'll have a preview of that for you as well. But up first, though, we'll come back with Coach, take a look at the highlights from the win over Bloomington South when Inside Artesian Football continues.
Shop at Keller's Office Supply at 159 North Main Street in Martinsville for all your school and office supply needs. When you come to Keller's, you'll find superstore prices with hometown service. Keller's Office Supply offers same-day delivery for all your office and janitorial needs. And if they don't have your supplies in stock, why drive when you can call Keller's? They have over 35,000 unique and hard-to-find items that are available to deliver them to your door the very next day. Looking for new office furniture? John Lake and Keller's can design custom-made furniture to fit your space.
Come to Keller's. We'll treat you like family.
Before high school sports, I was always thinking about myself, didn't really care about other people. But now, since I play high school sports, it's made me realize that I need other people in my life. You know, I always try to help everybody. High school sports, the healthy part of a complete education.
Back inside Artesian football with the head coach Fred Kutruff. Coach, you guys off to a 2-0 start as you get a win in your home opener on Friday night over your rivals Bloomington South. And boy, what a physical game. You guys really came out to play. Set the tone from the get-go, a two-play drive to punch it into the end zone and really never let up from there. A very physical game for your team, and it came away with a big win over the Panthers.
Yeah, I was really pleased with the way we came out and we hit. We knew that, South's a good football team, and we saw they were very physical on tape. I thought we, first week, we got physical in the second half, started figuring things out, but we knew we had to come out and match their intensity. They're a good ball club, likes to get off to a good start. We did that, and we kind of never looked back, and the kids just played with a high intensity, emotion, which, a team, I think we got some talent, but for us to win ball games, we have to come out at that level, and so that was a good way to see our kids go out and play.
You guys were able to set the tone in the game, like we said, from the get-go. That opening drive had to be great. 2 plays, bam, you're right into the end zone. That's the way you want to start it, especially at home, and especially against your rival South.
Well, I thought, of course, our backs ran hard. But the good thing is that I thought our line blocked better, and we got into some people, so that was a good thing to see. And the kids, our offense, we have a question mark with some line issues, but I thought we cleared a lot of those up this past week. I think they're only going to get better. I know we've got good skilled guys, looking on the defensive side. The defense is doing a great job, but we go to sleep for a few minutes, and we're a team that can't do that. So take away 2 of South's plays, and they had probably less than 200 yards of total offense. We're getting there, but it's a long season.
Take a look at some of the highlights here. You see Dallas Forler taking it in for the second score of the evening. That was in response to the big touchdown pass that South had to keep things even.
I like the way our kids answered. They come up, they have a score, and quarterback does a good job checking down, and we've got some guys, if you just let them get them the ball, they'll go do something with you. Big play there that, we got nailed on the screen the week before. We had to get our big linemen, get those hands up. I love what I see. They kicked off to Kane Liscombe, and probably less and less teams are going to kick off to him. He's just doing a fantastic job, but we're really doing a great job. I said the unsung hero on that is Randy McKinney. He sets up our special teams, and great blocking scheme he's had for the last couple weeks. Quarterback rolling out, we're going to throw a screen backside, and again, get it to these little guys and let them do their thing. These guys are just naturally, I like to say we coach this up. We work on it, but they're natural runners, and the kids do it. We can't. Cole Reichert does a good job kicking a field goal there, giving us a lead before half, putting us up a little bit more than 1 point there. Good job. This is where we start really playing physical here coming out that second half. Love the way the kids play the motion. Everybody has a good time. Big mistake by their guy here. You know, that's a critical mistake, especially this guy can punt it 50 yards. But big here, and then of course, big run here by Kane. Clean shot. Unfortunately, young man on this picture is okay. He kind of let up, and it was just one of those things in football. But I've heard some rumors about this kid, but he has a mild concussion, and he'll be back playing football. Good stop here, playing physical. They lost a couple linemen at this point, and we had to take advantage of it. Finally got aired out outside. Great ball by Mason Kutruff. And then John Zloty makes a big catch. He really needed. He gets a little excited here, but that's good for John. But that was a big. That was a third down play we needed, and we've got to have this week. We're going to see some of the best players we've seen. We've got to definitely play like that. Good job. That was really. We don't get this back, but that was a covered sack. He had no place to throw. I think this is Spencer Clefane intercepting the ball. Nice. Spencer had a great game, not only on offense, but did a great job on defense. Those are plays where great effort there. We'd like to see him get in, but we'll take that. We ended up getting a penalty on us, so we got backed up a little bit. Again, here's a great effort. This is what seniors do for you. Spencer Clefane, he dives in. He was over. A lot of people think he wasn't over on a picture. He kind of got pulled back, but that ball only has to cross the plane of the goal line, and it did. So it did a good job. Great job there by Houston O'Neill. Hard to block. Ends up getting clipped in the back. Big penalty there. And we took them out of their game when they had to start throwing the ball like this. Spencer Clefane roaming actually had 3 interceptions. They intercepted one on a 2-point conversion, but those don't count. But we'll count it in our stats. Kane Liscombe here to kind of ice the game. This was a big run. We needed it. And again, great here. Was caught, makes a great cut. And I think in really good shape, and we can do those things in the fourth quarter. We're going to all of our ball games are going to be tight, and that was tight going in the fourth quarter, and then we finally pulled away.
You guys have waited a little bit to be able to have those big play capabilities. You've had it a couple of years, several years ago when Michael Callan gave you that to stretch the field a little bit at times last year. But this year, boy, you just got a lot of guys that have the ability, the home run hitters, if you will, to use the baseball parlance, the guys that when they touch the ball, they've got the opportunity to take it all the way every time.
Well, we've told both our quarterbacks that you don't have to throw it 60 yards all the time to make a 60-yard play. You can dump it to some of our good little athletes, and you may only throw it 5, and they'll go 70 or 60 or 50. So I said, when the next day in the newspaper, it doesn't say that you threw it 5. It just says 60-yard touchdown pass. So we want to get it to those guys, check down. We do want to throw it deep, and we got to open that aspect of our game up a little bit more as we get ready, as we get closer to the sectional. But those are all things we can work on, and but we just want to move the chains. That's our goal. Move the chains.
You guys were able to move the chains, able to get the big victory over South, and like we said, offensively you played well. Defensively, you gave up a couple of big plays, like you said, but had to be pretty proud of how the defense kind of responded, especially there in the second half, with the lone exception of the quarterback sneak. You guys really limited what South could do and put them in a position, like you said on the highlights, to do things they didn't want to do, which was throw the football.
Yeah, that's not how their team is made up, and I'm real pleased with our defense. Like I said, we go to sleep a little bit. We don't have any great athletes, but we got a lot of good athletes and guys that could step up. But when we play as a team, we're pretty tough to beat. So we just got to get through those lulls that we have, that we just seem to go to sleep. There's no excuse for a quarterback on a quarterback draw, basically going for, I think, 70 yards, 75 yards. There's just no excuse for that. That's guys going to sleep, and we got to take care of that.
Martinsville, though, comes out with a big victory over South as they put 37 on the board once again in the win over the South. Panthers get the victory in the rivalry game, their first game at home. They're 2-0 on the season. They begin Mid-State Conference play coming up on Friday night against a very good Greenwood ball club. Before we get to the preview of that, though, we'll come back, talk about the week of practice, take a look at the other two teams in the program as well. We'll do that when we return inside Artesian Football.
I'm Damon Routenkranz, Mortgage Loan Officer with Home Bank. And I'm Gordy Lucas. This is a great time to buy or build a new home or to refinance your current mortgage. If you're in the market for a home loan, give us a call or stop by one of our offices and find out why, when it comes to mortgage financing, there's no place like home. Home Bank is an FDIC insured equal housing lender.
Visit one of our 3 locations, the main office in downtown Martinsville, or one of our branch locations at Grand Valley or 1067 Bridge Street, Mooresville.
I was really self-conscious when I was younger, and I didn't have a lot of confidence because I was this tall, gangly thing, but high school sports has made me more confident by showing that I can embrace my height and not try to hide it.
$5 footlong. $5 footlong. $5 footlong.
Come into Martinsville Subway and enjoy a $5 footlong today.
Back inside Artesian football with the head coach, Fred Kutruff. The Artesians get the victory on Friday night over Bloomington South. Then on a Saturday, the JV freshman win. Again, it was a split with the freshmen getting the victory and the JV coming up just a little bit short. Can you talk a little bit about how those two teams played on Saturday?
Well, we're disappointed JV got beat, but we kind of took them about a quarter and a half to wake up. I don't know if they were still thinking about the night before, but it didn't last very long for the JV guys. We dug a hole, but kids fought back, took a lead, and we got beat late in the game. His final score was 32-30. Zach Miranda did a great job. Nick Garza did a good job. Josh LaRue is doing a fantastic job running that, the JV offense. And then, so we got started late, but it was a good game. We got a lot of kids. Everybody got to play. And then freshmen won a tight one, 22-14. Very two evenly matched teams. We got a good young quarterback, about 6'5", threw the ball really well. Josh Burleson caught, I think, 2 touchdown passes, big target. So we got some good kids coming. Pretty fired up about those guys, but this group hasn't had a lot of success in middle school, but like our other teams in the past, when we mix East and West, it's usually a pretty good mix. So we're pretty fired up about them.
Had the victory there by the freshmen, the JV almost coming out with the sweep as well. This week, get back into practice. How the kids responded, coming off of a big win and Mid-State Conference opener, trying to get prepared. How have things gone thus far this week in practice?
Well, you kind of look for a letdown, but we went out pretty hard Monday and Tuesday. We backed them off, went to what we call pro pads, went shorts and shoulder pads yesterday, trying to get their legs back. Had a good practice, feel really good, about where we are. And then tonight we'll kind of clean things up and try to do some things that work on some stuff that we maybe didn't get a hit as much as we'd like to. We got to work a lot more on their stunts. You get inside the 30. Greenwood really likes to bring the stunts. So we got to really work that tonight. But kids are working hard. This is a fun bunch. I've said it from the beginning. It's fun to go out to practice. I mean, they work hard. We have our moments. But I tell them, I've got the greatest job in the world. I got a great staff. And I got a great bunch of kids to work with, so we're pretty excited about them.
Injury-wise, people healthy, made it through a very physical game, but you guys seem to be the ones that were playing more physical in the contest. Everybody come out healthy, ready to go this week? Yeah, we're healthy, and I said this is a challenge to our kids. In all my years of coaching, I don't know if I've ever had I've had some very good football teams, but I don't know if I've ever had a team play that physical from the get-go. Good, clean, hard-nosed football. And exciting football, and they all had fun, and so I was really proud of them. But injury-wise, we were banged up a little bit, but I think we're getting our legs back under us, and it's going to be a great game. I mean, Greenwood is just, this is the team of the last 20 years. They're saying is really good, so it's going to be a fantastic environment. It's going to be a lot of fun. It should be a good matchup coming up. It's a Mid-State Conference opener. You don't want to project too far ahead, but it could quite simply be for the Mid-State Conference title as well in the first game for both ball clubs. Two very good teams going at it. A veteran-laden Greenwood team that's going to like to run the football. Martinsville, who has been running and passing as well, should be a good show coming up on Friday night. And we will take a look at that coming up when we return inside Artesian Football.
Shop at Keller's Office Supply at 159 North Main Street in Martinsville for all your school and office supply needs. When When you come to Keller's, you'll find superstore prices with a hometown service. Keller's has a wide variety of supplies from paper clips to office furniture. They also have a large selection of printer cartridges to choose from. Keller's offers same-day delivery for all your office and janitorial needs. And if they don't have your supplies in stock, they can deliver it to you the next day. Keller's is a proud sponsor of the Martinsville community.
Come to Keller's. We'll treat you like family.
Being a high school athlete has taught me so much. It made me realize that if you have a goal that you really want to accomplish, if you set your mind to it, there's no limitations to what you can do. High school sports, a healthy part of a complete education.
Back inside Artesian football with the head coach, Fred Kutruff. Fred, coming up on Friday night, you'll face the Greenwood Woodmen, and like you said, that'll be a good test for your ball club. It's a very good Greenwood team that you will face on Friday night.
Yeah, well, they've got a lot of weapons. You know, we've got some good kids. A lot of kids go to, but they've got this is a senior bunch that they're very good in baseball and they're good in football. They don't play basketball, but they're just good football players. Very athletic. Their quarterback, his brother, you might remember the name Heller. We had some issues with him a few years back that he kind of ran wild. And this kid's bigger, faster, stronger. But they're a team that can throw it and run it. So it's going to be a real test. You know, we can kind of do both, but this is the first real test we've got that we're concerned that they do them both very well.
They battled Indian Creek last week, and it's a team that'll run the triple option, some of the veer stuff. Greenwood Wood, they kind of pulled out some of the zone read option as well against Indian Creek, took Coach Gillen's team a little bit by surprise, and they're able to bust a couple of runs. But what are we going to see out of Greenwood offensively on Friday night? Well,
you just said we're going to see they're going to do it out of shotgun, but triple option will be something that they'll have two backs beside them, and they're going to read it, and I think they do a good job of it. Quarterback's going to pull it, pitch it, or give it. So we got to be able to take care of that. We saw with our first game, they ran a lot of zone read. That's the same thing. Quarterback reads it. The 5 technique, or with defensive end closes, we're going to pull it. So the kids see that a lot in practice, anyhow. But and they do it very well. And when you got a kid like Heller that can pull it and go, it's going to cause some matchup problems. And you got to be very disciplined. You still got to be physical. But you got, last year we had, same kid blow it twice, and that was enough for them to score twice. And then, we end up losing 27-20 in a great football game. But you can't lose your assignment in this game, or bad things are going to happen. They're going to score.
You look at them on the defensive side of the ball. What can we expect out of the Woodmen on Friday?
Well, they got good defense. They fly around. They're not huge, but got some good little athletes. They run a 4-3. Pretty much stay in that 4-3. Now they give us something different. We'll have to see, but we prepared for that 4-3 all week. And they're a team that, a lot of teams have a lot of, I want to call kind of makeshift defenses. They'll put, we're going to do this. If this, they stay in their 4-3. They love it. They do it well, and you're going to get it all the way down to the goal line. So, and I imagine we'll get some man coverage and a lot of what we call cover 4. So a quarterback's got to, read the coverage, know where those safeties are, and put the ball in the right spot, or those safeties will rob us.
What are you guys going to have to do on the defensive side of the ball to kind of try to stop what they're going to do, which is running the ball, and they've run it well for about 400 yards a game? Well,
we've got to take care of their linemen. Got some big kids, big tackle. Find a football first. Read your keys, and every position has a key. Whether you're a Mike linebacker, you're a defensive end, and that's you read your keys. It's going to tell you where the ball's going, and tackle your position. And what I mean by that is, if our Mike linebacker has the dive, he better be there for the dive. He can't go to sleep thinking or anticipating that the ball's going to go outside, because as soon as you do that, up the middle will go. Same thing if we got a safety coming up on pitch. If he comes flying into the quarterback, we're going to have issues. So everybody's got to play disciplined football, do their job. You can still hit, but make sure you're in position. Make them beat us. Don't give them anything.
How difficult is that? You're not going to face a lot of triple option teams. You do face, like you said, in practice every day, probably some of that zone read stuff. But how difficult is it to face an offense that runs that triple option? Well,
it's very tough. I think one of the reasons we've been successful is we don't run triple option, but we run a lot of zone read. So if we got a great back, you collapse on it, our quarterback does a good job of reading it, he pulls it, we got a couple of different options. So you can't account for some guys, and I'm talking about the defense. So you got a guy set up. Some guys you can't account for, and that's who they're going to try to get the football for. We've been working on all summer, I mean, that's one thing we prepared for. And with the way we're set up, you practice all summer. Our kids have seen it. When we get it, really, the first I haven't seen. We've already got exchanged tapes with Decatur Central. They've always in the past have run a lot of triple option too. So we see it here back to back. So it's really been kind of, we saw something different with Garin Catholic, which like to throw it and run zone read. We saw a power team in South that like to run that stuff at us, and now we're seeing an option team. So we've really seen, we're going to see 4 different teams, totally different type of offenses in our first 4 weeks. So hopefully we can make a few plays and not give up the big one is what we're going to try to do.
Offensively, you talked about it a little bit, but what are you guys going to have to do to be successful against their defense?
We still move the chains. We always talk about moving the chains, but make the right reads. There's some things any defense is set up to stop certain things, but every defense has weaknesses. I think our offense we've got a great system. We're going to take certain things. If they're in certain coverages or they're in a certain look, we're going to do something that we think something's going to be open. Now, you hope your quarterback has watched enough tape to know where the ball goes. We put a lot on our quarterback and to make the right decision where to send that jet. That we run the jet fantastic, but if the quarterback sends us the wrong way, we can't block certain guys. So we got to go where they ain't. Sorry for the English folks out there, but we say go where they ain't and move the chains, and that's going to be our goal.
All right, Coach, appreciate you joining us. Good luck coming up on Friday night.
Thanks.
Artesian head coach Fred Kutruff here inside Artesian Football. Martinsville coming up Friday night. Battle of the Greenwood Woodmen in a mid-state conference opener. Get out there, support the Artesian. Should be a fantastic night of football. 2 very good, explosive ball clubs going at it. Should be exciting, so get out there and support Martinsville. As always, I'd like to thank the head coach Fred Kutruff for coming in. Thanks. For Fred, along with Carl Van Dievender who produced it. I'm Eric Meyer. We'll see you again next time inside Artesian Football.